Outsiders, when they look at the Catholic Church, they might ask the question, how can it be that something like the Catholic Church can still be around? How in heaven's name can it be? And in recent years, in recent times, we've had things like child abuse scandals within the Catholic Church, and these scandals involved leaders of the Catholic Church, priests and bishops. And when we look at that, that question that I guess came up during the 1960s of the role of women within the church, and in particular the role of women in church leadership within the church. How has the Catholic Church addressed the role of women in regards to leadership? What roles are there for women in regards to leadership? Yes, the Catholic Church is quite ancient, quite old, and yet the times in which we are living in are anything but ancient and old. Anything but ancient and old. I'm not actually sure what times we are living in. I guess you'd have to ask a university student who is currently studying at a university. What is this? Postmodern? Postmodern? What era are we living in? Who knows? As I said, we'd have to go and ask someone of the younger generation, what era are we living in? Well, the answer to this question, how can it be that the Catholic Church is still around, is none other than the Holy Eucharist. As long as the Catholic Church provides the sacraments to its people, to its flock, we shall continue to have the Catholic Church. People are members of the Catholic Church. People participate in the Catholic Church because of these holy sacraments. And in particular, the most holy sacrament of the Eucharist. It is for the very flesh of Jesus Christ, the very blood of Jesus Christ, that many continue to flock to the Catholic Church each year. And although the numbers are not as great as what they were in other times, people continue to send their children to Catholic schools. People continue to enroll in Catholic universities. People continue to go to Catholic hospitals in time of need. Even though the Catholic Church is ancient, even though the Catholic Church is anything but modern. Remember in July 2013 when Pope Francis said, at the time he was on an aeroplane, and he had like a group of journalists on this plane, and Pope Francis said to these journalists, he said to the media, "Who am I to judge?" And he was answering their questions in regards to homosexuality. And remember, it was only in March of 2013 that Pope Francis became the Vicar of Christ, became the Pope of the Holy Roman Catholic Church. So only a couple of months after his coronation, if you like, into the popehood, the Pope came out with this comment, "Who am I to judge?" in regards to homosexuality. Who am I to judge if homosexuality is a sin? Isn't it God Most High who is the supreme judge? Shouldn't we leave these things to God? Pope Francis did not say these things, which I am saying now. These are not his words. But he did say to the media, "Who am I to judge?" And in November of 2020, we have another statement coming out by His Holiness Pope Francis. In November of 2020, Pope Francis gave his support, gave his blessing, if you like, to same-sex civil unions. The Pope is not endorsing same-sex couples into sacramental marriages. No, the Pope is not endorsing this, but the Pope is endorsing same-sex unions. And this is a big deal. This is a very big deal indeed. And the reason why it's a big deal is because this ancient prehistoric church, this ancient prehistoric Catholic church, who people, outsiders, look upon and say, how can it be that the Catholic Church is still around? How can it be that the Catholic Church is still around? And yet it is so ancient. It is so, its ways are so old. Its ways are not modern. Its ways are not trendy. How can it be? And maybe Pope Francis, maybe, just maybe, he is paving the way for a future Catholic Church where all people shall be accepted, where there shall be roles for all people, for men, for women, for gays, for lesbians, for the transgendered, for all people of God. Pope Francis is setting down the foundations so that all may be welcome in this most holy Roman Catholic Church. And unfortunately, it won't happen overnight. We know the church is very, very slow. It takes hundreds of years for things to happen. But at least we have this great Pope Francis who is not afraid to say, who am I to judge? I am not God. Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge whether the act of homosexuality is a sin? Who am I to judge? Who am I to say that only some people may have happiness and others must spend their whole life in misery?